We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon there will be order again. A new age. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we will be crowned its kings. Or better than kings. Gods.
Hello and welcome to XNVR Gaming. My name is Christian and today I've been reviewing Deus Ex Revision, which is a community-made overhaul for the 2000 classic Deus Ex. Now, that name may seem familiar to a lot of you with Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, but the Deus Ex story actually started quite some time ago, and there was actually another game as well, which was called Invisible War. I may get onto that at a later date, but it wasn't my favourite. But this particular title, Deus Ex, I absolutely loved it. I played it on the PS2 back when it first came out, and then more recently, when I found that it was on Steam, I decided to have another go because I loved it so much. And little did I know that there was also this mod available called Deus Ex Revision. It's completely free, and in all honesty, it's fantastic. It's completely community made. It's an overhaul of the entire game that improves 3D models, the game engine, puts high definition textures into the whole game, new music, even new environments. And it actually, say the original game file was roughly half a gig, maybe just over. The community made mod is over 2 gigabytes. It almost quadruples the size of the game file. That's how much work went into this. It is a massive project, and it makes the game look so much better. That's not to say it looks brilliant. You know, they haven't exactly brought it up to modern standards, but it is a lot better than the original.
Your appointment to FEMA should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the senator.
I take it he was agreeable?
He didn't really have a choice.
Has he been infected?
Oh yes, most certainly.
There have been some elements which people did not take to very well. While the mod did fix quite a few bugs that were just in the game and never fixed by the developer, it did also create 1 or 2 new little problems. But in my opinion, that's a fair trade-off. They, for every 10 that they fixed, they may have made 1.
This plague, the rioting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over into the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
As you may be aware, Deus Ex takes place in a futuristic dystopia where science and technology has kind of gone completely mental. But that's not particularly the main focus of this game. It's more a view of how things can potentially be run from behind the scenes, how corporations could be affecting the way we live our lives, or how short our lives end up being.
I've received reports of armed attacks on shipments. There's not enough vaccine to go around, and the underclasses are starting to get desperate.
Of course they're desperate. They can smell their death, and the sound they'll make rattling their cage will serve as a warning to the rest.
Now, as this is an older game, the NPC dialogue, while, in terms of quality, very good. Sound quality was brilliant. The writing for most of the story and most of the dialogue within the game was fantastic.
About time you showed up. Iron and copper. The statue is copper on an iron frame, right? Password's enough, pal. Don't think you know something about the lady I don't. My dad did tours out here.
However, when you're walking around, you will overhear certain NPCs talking to each other, and it does sound a little off.
Herman, right? He's a good soldier. Killed 3 of our men.
They'd have replaced his whole body if it would have improved performance.
with regards to the combat, this game does have a few little problems, but for the most part is extremely enjoyable.
Huh? Fascist.
I mean, the stealth aspect of it, you can have a lot of fun with. Especially given that when you start the game, you don't have much in the way of weaponry.
All I've got with me is a pistol and an electric prod. I don't mind a test, but UNACO better issue some hardware.
But the few things that you do find early on, you can get quite a few hours of entertainment out of. You know, running around screaming, "Fear my crowbar of vengeance!" I don't have a problem. So lately, I have been noticing that my videos have been getting a bit longer, so I am trying to keep this review quite short. So what I want to do is just give you a very brief overview of the dynamics of the game, but also my opinions of it. I absolutely love this game. I loved it the first time I played it, and I loved it 17 years later when I went back to play it again. Now, with a lot of games that we love from our childhood, it's a bad idea to go back to them, because we remember them, like our memories are almost in HD. So when you go back to an older game, you're playing it, you think, what the hell is this? This looks rubbish. Why did I ever enjoy this? And it kind of spoils your memory. With this one, not at all.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
I found that going back into this game was extremely easy, and the look of it, probably because of the mod where all the textures have been changed for HD and the models have been polished up a little bit, it was just as enjoyable as the first time.
That's over the line.
And I have no doubt that I'm going to end up playing this game all the way through yet again, because I want to find all of these extra little bits. Now, the video clips that I'm using here, it was just the very beginning of the game, and that was a great deal of fun. I ended up recording about an hour and a half worth of footage because I just forgot I was recording and I was just having fun. But yeah, I mean, you can pick this game up pretty cheap. I mean, let me just check it here. $4.99. $4.99 to have the Deus Ex Game of the Year edition is a fantastic game. And then you can pick up the revision mod for free and vastly improve that. Just the short version, get it. If you like sci-fi games, if you like first-person shooters, if you like stealth games, all of the above, this is a title that you need to play. Whether you're a fan of the newer versions or not, this one did it right. The ones that came later were trying to almost cash in on the success of the first game, and it kind of flopped. I mean, I enjoyed them, but nowhere near as much as the original. The stealth was done fantastically. The augmentation system was pretty spot on because it gave you all these extra abilities but didn't make it too easy. The weaponry was varied and extremely fun. You actually had to think things out. You know, you couldn't just blindly rush in because you'd just get annihilated. You actually had to think about how to approach things. You are a UNATCO special agent and you have to act in that way. You're not a one-man army. You're better than one man, but you're not a one-man army. Just remember that. But yeah, it's definitely worth a look, and for $4.99 you can't really go wrong. This is hours and hours of quality entertainment for next to no money. Anyway, so I'm going to call it an end to this one. If you'd like, as with any of the games I review, if you want to see more, just put it in the comments, and I'm more than happy to play this all the way through and record every minute of it, because I just love this game so much. It's fantastic, and I'm sure most gamers would really enjoy this as well. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like and hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much.